Devon Larratt had a near perfect match against Denis Cyplenkov at East vs West, and it's very possible that Denis had no chance to win no matter what he did. However, I think that he could have at least made the match closer if he had optimized his technique. Here's Devon Larratt talking about that.
His real strength is actually his open top. His open top roll is sticky, but I wasn't, his ability to cup, I wasn't worried about. I mean, he could definitely change the way he trains. I watch the way he trains. What you need to be able to do is pronate, rise your palm up. You need to be able to cup. You need to bring out your elbow inside your body with supination. You need to be able to grip. Apart from that, all these great strengths, which he very clearly has and develops, they're further on down the list, and he won't be able to access, like, you won't have access to them. I think if he shifted his training to just be a bit more precise, he could be definitely better. His rising is a bit of an issue. I don't see him doing much pronation, even though he has an incredible King's move. I don't see him training it.
So Devon confirms what a lot of people have thought about Denis for years, and that is that his open top roll is his best move. I've always wished that Denis would take as high of a grip as possible, ball up his hand, and go solely for the open top roll. Sure, his wrist is going to go back, but the thing is, it was going to go back anyway. And that's a lot of the problem with Denis versus Devon. The only reason that Devon was able to blast through Denis's arm 100 times in a row is because Denis was trying to prevent this from happening. Denis took a low grip and tried to bend his wrist. Since Denis was trying to bend his wrist, Devon was able to blow through it. However, if Denis had simply taken a high grip, committed to the open top roll, and allowed his arm to swing to the B side of the table without resisting, Devon's strategy would not have been possible. Devon's strategy only worked because Denis was holding on to him. So I really hope that we see Denis's style and strategy begin to evolve more toward a strategy like Devon's. I think that Denis will reach his highest potential in the sport by adjusting his setup and not trying to fight for center table like he has been doing. Denis's biggest strength by far is his elbow flexor, and the open top roll is the move that makes the most use of the elbow flexor. Another thing that Devon talks about is Denis's training. Of course, we don't see everything that Denis does, but if Denis's real training reflects the YouTube clips we see, it appears as though he doesn't really train his pronation that directly. Denis does a lot of back pressure and curls, but he doesn't seem to be training his pronation very heavy. And if he does, it looks like he's training it through a range of motion instead of using isometrics like Devon does. The goal of Devon's lifts is to mimic the pressure he feels on the table as closely as possible. I think that if Denis started doing the pronation back pressure lifts like Devon does, this would hugely improve his game. Denis's back pressure is already incredible. If he added a bit more pronation to that, he would be even better at cracking people's wrists back. I also think Denis would hugely benefit from Devon's riser lift. Keeping his knuckles up is going to be crucial for Denis to prevent long arm top rollers like Devon from climbing up over the top of him. And really, at the end of the day, I think the main point here is that Denis's wrist is gonna go back against elite pullers. It's just not feasible for him to cup his wrist in against Devon or Hermes or Levon, so he might as well base his strategy off of that. If he would take a higher grip, stop holding on, and just fully commit to an outside move, I wonder who he could beat. He probably has even better stopping power than Devon does, he just isn't using it as effectively. But let me know what you guys think about this. Do you agree with Devon that Denis's best move is his open top roll? Or is there a reason that Denis is sticking with the good old low grip?